All right, everybody. My name is Kaylee Pear. I am the owner and CEO of Paired Up Social Media Marketing. And we do a lot for our clients in regards to strategy because ideally, you want organic strategy before you start doing paid advertising. And so there's a lot that kind of goes into that. And we did a post recently about hashtags and a program I really like to use called Flick. And there's been a lot of interest coming in after that post on the importance of hashtags because to a lot of people, it's just kind of an eyesore on those posts, but they are extremely important on Instagram specifically and the strategy there. So today we're going to kind of go over all of that and talk about what you need to know, what maybe you can leave out, and just everything in between to help make sure you're maximizing the eyeballs that are seeing your posts. So yeah, we're going to go through all of that.
Oh, and hey, I'm Kara, and I'm going to be helping you go through that too, because I, like a lot of people, have questions regarding hashtags, whether you're using it personally or professionally. And you mentioned that people had specific interest in that program, Flick. So why are hashtags important? I feel like when we're looking at them, you see people use like a couple, and then you see people use 30.
And it all became kind of a joke too after a while, being like hashtag, get out of here, or just stuff like that, and people making fun of it. And it looks cloudy sometimes, but there's a point. So each hashtag acts as a photo album for basically putting that post that you have into a photo album with a whole bunch of posts that are going with the same theme. So basically, it's like a built-in directory for all of your photos and videos that use that same hashtag. So for example, let's say we're talking about a travel, like you're going on a trip and you put hashtag travel, right? Anybody who uses hashtag travel, their post is going to go into that same photo album, is what we'll call it. And then you'll see that screen and you see a whole bunch of posts. Well, if you keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, anybody that used hashtag travel is going to be in there. So, hashtag travel is going to be a pretty, popular one. So if you're a lower account, what I mean by that is a lower following account. If you have 500 to 1,000 followers, maybe you're starting out and you only have 100 to 500 and you're thinking, well, how am I going to be found in the sea of travel, right? Well, that's where the strategy comes in, and using low competition hashtags, high competition hashtags, and medium competition hashtags. And we're going to go into what all of that means here as we move forward. But it's about placing yourself in the right photo album to get the best chance of seeing the most eyeballs, because ideally you want to be on that front page. As soon as you hit that hashtag and it pulls up all of the posts, you want to be the top post. It's what we call ranking. And if you rank in those posts, you're more than likely to be seen and have somebody click on your post. If somebody has to scroll and scroll and scroll to find you, more than likely you're not going to get anything out of that. But does that mean you don't use high competition? No, it doesn't mean that at all. So that's kind of the base strategy there.
So if you're not using hashtags, you are not making the most out of your post.
And that's basically it. So it's why not? Each hashtag, and you can use up to 30 hashtags. So if you look at these points I've put on the screen there's much more. If you go to my website, pairedupsocial.com, there's a whole article on this that goes a little bit more in depth on this, that you can look this up. So I just took a few points from the article that I have written for this. And it's very important that if you're a private account, hashtags or no hashtags, you're really not going to grow because you're private. But public accounts are the only ones that will show up in the hashtag directory. That means when you click on one of those hashtags, the post will show up within that. You can use up to 30 hashtags. Now, that's a lot of hashtags, yes, but that's a lot of opportunity. So whether you like the hashtags or you don't like hashtags, you still need to use them if you want to grow organically. And there's no real gain if you use a short hashtag or a long hashtag. Instagram isn't TikTok where you have only a certain amount of characters you can use, or YouTube Shorts where you only have a few characters. Then you kind of need to be a little bit more strategic in the amount of characters you use, but not on Instagram. So those are some 3 points there that you're going to want to make sure that you think about when you're making those hashtags. So I'm going to jump here to this graph. Now my handwriting is not great and I do not draw, but it really tells you the story. So what you want to do here is 20 branded hashtags. That means you want them branded, not necessarily to you, but who you are trying to reach. So let's say, I'm social media marketing. So I would do hashtag social media, hashtag business owners, hashtag small business owners, hashtag influencers, like people that you really want to see your posts that make sense. So then you'll show up in front of them, and then you may get a new follower or somebody that eventually becomes a new customer for you out of those hashtags. So you want 5, then you want 10 medium, and then you want 5 high competition. You don't, even though high competition, you're thinking to yourself, if you're a low account, okay, what's the point? There is a point, because let's say one of your posts goes viral, like one of our clients just did the other day. If you're in a high competition, then you have a chance of ranking there, and that gives you more followers quickly. So it happens every once in a while, but you want to make sure you're in the right places at the right time when that post does go viral. Now, at the bottom, that bar, it says then add 10 unique hashtags for each individual post. So let's say, okay, today we're talking on this live, we are talking about Instagram specifically, because hashtags are so important there. So since I'm talking about Instagram, I would use 10 unique hashtags that have to do with Instagram and less about the broad scope of social media in general. So that's each individual post that you come up with. Let's say you make a how-to, or you say, did you know? That's a post. Hashtag did you know? So you want 10 of those that are going to be unique, that then pushes it out. Because if you keep doing the same hashtags, then you're going to start to wear that out. So
okay, so you should not use the same ones every time.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of
the copy and paste is not going to be effective.
No, it's not. Now you do want to use those hashtags, and that's what the program Flick makes finding. You're thinking, how do I find low competition, medium competition, high competition hashtags? Well, Flick is an amazing program where you can literally go in there. And again, I'm not getting any sponsorship from them. I just honestly love them. You can type in, okay, so a post for Instagram. You can type in Instagram, and it will find popular low competition hashtags for Instagram, popular medium, and high. And then you can go through and click what makes the most sense for you. And then you can put them in a collection, what they called, and copy that entire collection and paste it into your post. It makes it very user-friendly, very easy to use, and very easy to understand as well. So it's really a must-have. Honestly.
And I know this isn't necessarily on one of your slides, but should you be following particular hashtags on places like Instagram, not just people and accounts?
Yeah. So when you're trying to grow your account organically, there's going to be some accounts that, based off of the posts that you do and just being consistent over the course of several months, a lot of businesses, I'm going to go off for a second, but a lot of businesses ask me, how long does it take to really do this consistently for something to happen? Well, I'm telling you right now, it's at least 6 months to a year. This is not hey, I'm going to do this for a little while and then I'm going to stop. This is from now on, businesses have to be in the social media space consistently, always. So back to your question, Kara, if you are trying to grow your account consistently, you're going to want to follow certain hashtags that you think are going to attract customers with you. So you go in there, you click on that hashtag, and you follow some of those people that are in there, and then they'll follow you, and then you engage in those accounts, and then that's how you grow. So that's part of a strategy that we use for our clients to help grow their account throughout, matter of months.
Absolutely. That makes sense. Okay. What are some other key points that we need to make sure that we're focusing on when we're trying to build not just our brand, but our account?
Yeah. So, okay. Back to the beginning when we were talking about, hashtags and them being kind of, it looks like clutter. And I go through this conversation with my clients all the time. They're like, I don't like the way that looks. And I'm like, I don't really like the way it looks either, but we have to use it as an opportunity. So here, if you're looking at the screen here, if you don't like the look, I want you to look at the phone. This is a post, and you can see that we have some of the hashtags in the post. And we also, if you look there, the first comment is from us, and it's also hashtags. But there's a strategy here. You have to post those hashtags right away within a minute or two of posting, or it won't count toward the hashtag and the going viral or getting pushed into those photo albums. That you can't go and post this as a schedule. Like, let's say you scheduled this on some kind of program, and then you go back in there 3 hours later to put the hashtags. No, that's not going to work. It has to be within minutes, but you can put some of those in the comments to be able to utilize and get more eyeballs, but not have so many hashtags within that comment. So that's really a key way that if one of my clients doesn't like the way it looks, that we kind of break it up a little bit and put it in the comments instead of all of it in the bulk of the caption. So you can do that.
While we're talking about aesthetics, I've seen some people on accounts put like dots, little periods, and then they start the hashtags lower. Does that matter? Does it not matter? Is it all personal preference? What is that about?
It's all personal preference. So, and I get bored when I'm doing things. So there'll be clients that I do the dot and then the dot and then the hashtags, or there'll be emoji and then the hashtags. It's really all the same result. It's just what it looks like. And sometimes, again, you don't want somebody to get used to the way you're doing things. And this goes across the board with not just hashtags, but content strategy in general and the way you do content, which will be a whole nother post. You want to mix it up a little bit. And then, so that brings me to my last point in regards to these hashtags and the low competition, medium, and high. Is you're going to create a collection. Okay. So you want to use a bulk of those 20 hashtags that aren't the unique to the post, that are just kind of general for you. You want to use those for a while. So what I do is I use them for a month. Maybe I use them for 2 months when they're working and I'm seeing some rankings. But then you're going to want to refresh those. You can use some of the ones that perform well for you, but you're going to want to try other ones as well. So I kind of refresh it either every month or every 2 months and try different collections. And then sometimes I'll even go back to an old collection and put that back in there. So you're going to want to make sure you keep things fresh, but you also want to use what works. And so paying attention and tracking, and that's another thing that Flick does for you. It tracks, it lets you know, it sends you alerts. Hey, you ranked on this, this, and this. And it tells you, okay, great. That means that this post is going to do well over here. I have the best chance of picking up the most followers out of this and potentially new customers. A follower, we don't care. Yes, we want your followers, but we want them to then translate into a customer. That's the end goal. So when we're thinking about that, that's why our strategy has to kind of switch up so that we can get the most out of these platforms.
Now, you mentioned that, you've talked to your customers before and you've told them, listen, consistency is king, and it could take 6 months to a year to really see that difference. What can you expect from hashtags as far as starting to see some growth if you're strategic about them? Is there a way to gauge that?
There is. And again, with that same program, you can track, okay, I ranked on 1 or 2 at first. Celebrate that. That's awesome. And then all of a sudden, after about a month or 2, you'll find out, oh, you ranked here and here. Because what's happening is each time you're ranking, you're seeing more eyeballs. Then those people, they come to follow you. And then when you are followed by more accounts, then you're going to get pushed to more accounts. It's all about the algorithm. And so it's a snowball effect. So, I mean, it's the same timeline. You got to give it time. You got to work with it. But in the end, it's the longer you do it, the longer you use those hashtags consistently, the better off you're going to be.
So remind folks again where they can read the article and other ways they can follow you on social media.
Yeah, so I wrote a whole article on putting together the puzzle of hashtags. You can go to www.pairedupsocial.com. And on the top bar there's several things that you can go look for on our website. And I suggest that you do to see how potentially we can help you. But there's articles. You can go to the different articles that we've written so far. And I use that as an educational platform to be able to teach you. So you can read the hashtag article. You can read other ones out there. And we also have a community where you can get some social media calendars where we put together some national holidays for you that you don't have to go search for, that you can use as easy content. And we are also offering now, this is a new, something we're offering if you can't potentially do the month-to-month with social media content creation and copywriting and everything that we provide. We're doing a workshop now where we can help you set up this hashtag strategy. We can help you set up some templates and a calendar that then you can start and be able to handle some of your social media organically by yourself and get started. So that's something else you can find on our website and on our social platforms.
All right. That was great information. Thanks for answering all the questions, Kaylee.
Thank you. And look for us soon for more information and some more trainings to help with boosting your social media to get more customers.